2, 1.
Good afternoon. I'm Melody McClellan, CARES Act Coordinator for St. Louis. I would like to welcome you all and thank you for joining the Funding Options for Your Business Operations webinar today. Have your pens and pads ready for notes and also leave questions in the comment section because they will be addressed after the presentation. Before we begin, let me take a moment to introduce our speaker today. We have Ms. Ashley O'Neill, Vice President in Retail Market. Ashley is responsible for 60% of the bank's staff, which is Midwest Bank Center, overseeing the sales and service of the retail team that includes customer and consumer and business banking. Ashley has assisted in creating and facilitating various training courses, development and launch of the bank's workplace banking program, implementing career development strategies for her team, assisting in increasing employee engagement through evaluation of employee partnerships of the bank's various lines of businesses, and countless others. With consistent focus on training and development, the retail business segment has seen growth quarter over quarter, not only in their sales results, but employees' retention as well. Ashley O'Neill is a native of St. Louis, a graduate of Hazelwood Central High School. She has a BS in Business Administration with an emphasis in management from the University of Missouri, Columbia. An avid volunteer in the St. Louis community, Ashley currently serves as the president of Omicron Eta Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She is a board member of the Ivy Foundation St. Louis. Ashley is an alum of the St. Louis Business Diversity Initiative Fellows Program, Cohort 11. She is a recipient of the 40 Under 40, sponsored by the St. Louis Business Journal, and a 2020 Salute to Young Leaders recipient, sponsored by the St. Louis American Foundation. Please welcome our speaker for this afternoon, Ms. Ashley O'Neill.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so very much, Melody, for that wonderful introduction. I'm excited to be here with each of you today. Again, as Melody shared, my name is Ashley O'Neill, and I am the Senior Vice President Retail Market Manager with Midwest Bank Center here in the St. Louis area. I'm excited to share with you guys today some funding options when it is concerning your business operations. I know that in this time, given that we are dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of business owners are trying to uncover new ways to keep their businesses afloat. I know that in the past, some people have chosen not to use various loans or lines of credit to help with their business needs. They've had sufficient cash flow to take care of any business business expenses that they may have had. But given that we are in a pandemic, did want to provide some additional resources and food for thought when it comes to funding your business operations on a day-to-day basis. I will add that with the information that I am presenting today, I am a fan of working smarter and not harder, of course. We do have, well, I have many years of experience within the banking segment. I do rely heavily on our resources that are provided by the FDIC. So for the presentation that you will see today, this information is coming straight from the FDIC website, and I've added some slides as well to add to our presentation for today. And we'll also, by any means, happy to answer any questions that you as a business owner may have when it comes to your business banking needs, whether it is a loan question, if you have questions in regards to business accounts. Again, happy to provide assistance in whatever area from a financial banking standpoint that one may have concerning their business. As with anyone within this industry, while I have over 14 years of experience, I will say that I don't know everything. Within my role, I learn something new every day. And as I have various partners that I work with within the financial industry, I always tell clients that I interact with, if I don't have the answer, please know that I know somebody that does have the answer. So no question is a bad question. If I don't have the answer for you at this very moment, please rest assured that I know somebody that can get us the answers so that I can help you within your business needs. So let's go ahead and get started with our presentation for today.
Miss Ashley, I'm gonna ask you to minimize the little Teams window.
Oh yes,
There
my apologies. There we go.
You're good. Thank you.
Thank you. Technology sometimes is a good thing, and then just learning new things. So thank you all so very much for your patience. So again, with the presentation that I have today, the FDIC provides many resources that are free of charge to anybody that has access to the World Wide Web. So questions in regards to financing, accounts, even if you have school-age children as small as kindergarten, there are resources that are available free of charge that anyone can utilize and use to help with any questions that they may have. So again, while a great resource, other opportunities are available out there on the FDIC's website. Same with the U.S. Small Business Administration's website as well. And I will reference some documents there later on within my presentation. So of course today, given our topic, did want to discuss some financing options and sources that one can use for their business. And also wanted to make sure that we touch on financing readiness, because a lot of the times we've unfortunately been, some people have been taught that having credit is a bad thing, or not having credit at all means that you have great credit. Want to make sure that we have an open, honest conversation on what financial institutions look for when it comes to providing financing to business owners. And there is such a thing as establishing business credit as well, so we'll be sure to touch on that today also. So first things first, when it comes to financing options for your business, of course, some people utilize their own personal savings that they've set aside. We've seen some businesses start up due to gifts that they've received, whether that is income from the life insurance policy from a loss of a loved one. We've seen some business owners go and start businesses using personal loans, personal lines of credit, credit cards. There have even been some opportunities of having silent partners with helping with financing options for the business. So we'll again go into some details on options that are available when it comes to financing your business needs. So as I just shared, again, the number one form of financing that is used when it comes to startups is usually own personal savings or gifts and even informal loans. One of the things that we want to make sure that one knows, any of those three items, that you want to make sure that that's a part of the cash flow for your business. In the event you do receive a gift as a form of starting your business in the form of cash, I would always advise you to consult your accountant or a tax advisor on any options that may be available when it comes to tax incentives, any breaks that one may have, and then also when it comes to reporting for your financial records on what that should look like. From the bank standpoint, again, we can provide resources, but would always advise you to consult with your accountant or your tax advisor for additional resources as well. Sorry about that. That's my computer. So when it comes to lending options, I know that it's always been a question of what's the difference between a loan versus a line of credit. So of course, when it comes to a term, or as we call it in the banking industry, an installment loan, this of course is where you are approved for a specific amount of money. The bank disperses those funds at one set period. And then from there, you're making monthly payments on that loan over a set term, anywhere from 6 months to as long as 10 years. And depending on the type of loan, it could even be longer than that. With that being said, it's a fixed monthly payment, and usually the interest rate that is on an installment loan or a term loan is one that is at a fixed rate, not one that is variable from time to time. Most installment loans from a business standpoint, we see, of course, vehicle loans, may even have some commercial real estate loans that will fall into this category, just as an example. Again, this is an option that is available should a business want to purchase additional assets. Like I said, purchase a vehicle for their business, if they're looking to move into a set business space for their business. An installment loan or a term loan is something that is used and seen here most. Also for businesses, we have our lines of credit and credit cards. Again, another option that is available that most financial institutions offer to business owners as well. While the slide says it's generally secured, you can also find lines of credit and credit cards that are unsecured as well. The purpose of a line of credit and or a credit card is to give you the option to spend the money if needed. So of course, we know you can have a line of credit or a credit card that has a $20,000 credit limit. Until you begin to draw funds off of that line of credit, you're technically not making any payments. The moment you decide, oh, I want to replace some equipment for my business and I need to borrow $5,000 off of my business line of credit, you're only paying on that $5,000, the remaining $15,000 in the example that I provided. Those are funds that can still be used if you so need to use them. If not, you pay back that $5,000 plus any interest that is charged for borrowing those funds. That money is then available for you to then use again. One thing to keep in mind with lines of credit and credit cards, usually the interest rate is variable and it is tied to prime. So of course we know with the environment that we're in now, interest rates are extremely low. Perfect time to look at borrowing funds from a financial institution of your choice, securing a line of credit or a credit card as well. Again, interest rates extremely low at this time. And I always tell clients it's nice to have a line of credit or a credit card as a just in case. Would rather you have it when you don't need it than to need it and not be able to get it, or not be able to get it in the time frame that you need it for. So if you have not considered applying for a business line of credit and or a business credit card, would definitely want to encourage you to take advantage of it, especially now while the interest rates are low. Also with credit cards, just additional information, when you are borrowing under your business tax ID number, establishing business credit, know that as the owner of the business, with any business lending option, you are going down on the application as a guarantor for that loan, because the business itself can't log into the online banking and make a payment. They can't go to the branch and make the payment for that line of loan or credit, line or loan that the business has. So know that your consumer credit is reviewed, but the information is not reported on your own personal credit unless the loan or line is delinquent. Okay. The other great thing about business credit cards as well, when you have various employees that work for you, you can add authorized users onto the business credit card. Just as an example, a business can be approved for a $10,000 credit card. The CEO has access to all the full 10,000, but that CEO may say, oh, I need my executive assistant to have a credit card with a $2,000 limit available for him or her to spend. So with that CEO, again, has access to the full 10,000. They can say, oh, I'm giving my executive assistant access to 2,000 of my $10,000 line of credit. That CEO can also track to see what their executive assistant, the expenses that they are adding to that credit card, and know that they can't spend more than the 2,000 that has been designated to them. So another great option if you are out and about, or you're not in your office space at all times and want to be able to continue to keep your business going, by all means can add authorized users as well. Additional financing options also when it comes to, we have what we call special purpose loans. Depending on the industry type, some financial institutions have business banking specialists that work with certain industries. And the examples that you see on the screen, this can include any agricultural financing options, manufacturing businesses, those that are a part of our armed forces. There are many different programs that are available for specific industries as well. Each financial institution is different, so would encourage you to find out based off of the industry type that your business is in, if there are special loans that are available for said industry. Okay. From the disaster loan standpoint, the last bullet point, of course, we know the Small Business Administration just finished the PPP loan process. We know that that was something that was open and available to pretty much the vast majority of small businesses that are operating in the United States. I would encourage you to check out the SBA's website as well for other business lending options that are available. I know that given we are in the pandemic, there are various grants that are out there as well. So feel free to visit the SBA website for additional options and additional opportunities for potential financing options for your business. The one thing that I would add as well, there are a lot of scams that are going around also when it comes to business lending. I know I've heard about the scams through Cash App. I know that there are some scams going on where, oh, you can just say you have 10 employees and the SBA will give you $10,000, no questions asked. $1,000 for each employee that you have, up to 10 employees. Again, be very mindful of having to pay someone to help you get a loan for your business. One should never have to pay in order to receive a loan. So would always stress the importance of consulting your banker that you interact with at your financial institution. If you have an accountant, if you have a tax advisor or an attorney, by all means, reach out to them for additional assistance. But I always say, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. So don't fall victim of the scam, because at this point in time, unfortunately, we've seen quite a few business owners get trapped into the scam, and the person who is claiming to assist them is already off and gone with the money, and then the business owner is left holding the bag, trying to correct the problem that they've gotten themselves involved in. So please keep that in mind. Other financing options that are available also, I'm just going to touch on a few. So what I have seen within my time as a member of the financial industry, leasing is something that's very popular also for those who need to purchase various types of equipment for their business. This is an option that is available with some financial institutions. One of the things to keep in mind, though, if you choose to lease equipment, sometimes the cost of leasing is much higher than buying it outright or financing it using a term loan. So be sure to weigh your options before choosing to lease equipment for your business. But again, an option that is available if that works for your business, by all means. Another popular one that I have seen is around the credit card sale loans or merchant cash advances. So if you are a business that accepts credit and debit cards from your clients, some merchant services processing companies will allow you to take out a loan against the sales that you have had from your merchant services processing. Again, each merchant service processor is different. Some will offer this, some will not. So would advise that you check to see what options are available if in fact you are accepting debit or credit cards from your clients, if that merchant processor will provide the opportunity for you to do a loan against that. So those are the two popular ones that I have seen. There are other options that are available as you see on the screen. But again, in my time within the banking industry, those are the two that I've seen the most. In regards to government programs, again, I touched on this a little bit, but we, again, encourage you to visit the SBA website in regards to lending programs. Also know that there are institutions that have SBA lenders that are available as well to provide additional resources, and also has a connection with the SBA as well when it comes to helping with getting certain loans approved. Of course, we know that there's the microloan program that's also available through the SBA. And again, I also shared about grants earlier. If you visit the Small Business Administration's website, they do a wonderful job of providing extensive details on what the different programs come with and what one needs to do in order to complete the process for applying for a loan that's SBA guaranteed or a grant through the SBA. Midwest Bank Center, I will add, does have an SBA lender and would welcome the opportunity to help with any questions that one may have if they are in fact interested in a loan from the Small Business Administration that's backed by the Small Business Administration. This slide here also just touches on various government programs that are available to small businesses. Also, again, depending on the industry type that the business falls under, there could be certain opportunities that are available. On this slide, of course, we see that the U.S. Department of Commerce Minority Business Development Agency. Here again, a great resource. Would reference the website again for additional details as far as free programs that are offered to small business owners. We also see the Department of the Treasury. Again, they're providing grants also and technical assistance. So by all means, feel free to check out those websites for additional details. Anything, the more that we can provide resources to help your business, the better. And then also locally for your various state and local governments, they also have various programs that are available as well, especially for those that may be in an underserved community, excuse me. So also check with your local and state government agencies to see what opportunities are available also. Again, because they have funds that are out there, they want to be sure that they share with the businesses. So on this slide, of course, this just talks about the spectrum of financing options and sources. Again, as your business is, if you're starting a new business, you're an aspiring entrepreneur or one that's just now getting started, 9 times out of 10, your business is focusing more on self-financing and sometimes also using your own personal credit to get the business up and going, your own personal savings to get the business up and going. As your business begins to grow and you start to see a positive cash flow, you know, businesses, as your business begins to grow and mature, as referenced on the slide, then you'll start to see less use of your own personal finances, your own personal credit, and moving toward using your business credit and your business assets to help with your expenses for the business. And then, of course, as your business becomes more established, you're seeing a positive cash flow year over year. Then, of course, it opens up opportunities for additional larger loans, lines of credit, and even begin to invest within your business for great succession planning for the business, but then also an opportunity to increase your business income by utilizing investment services as well. One of the things that I would share that is on this screen also, I kind of already touched on this, is we discussed the 4 various stages of the business, whether from startup all the way up to established. One of the things that I would share that when it comes to crowdfunding capital and peer-to-peer lending, loan marketplace and fintech online lenders, angel investors, and venture capital firms, again, nothing wrong with any of the 3 options that are presented on the screen. And again, I'm not as well versed to go into full details about those options, but would caution you to always do your research, no matter which route you choose to go from a financing standpoint. Always do your research, ask questions. There are many resources that are out here, from the World Wide Web to utilizing, having a conversation with your banker. Again, want to make sure that the decision that you make when it comes to financing for your business needs, it makes sense for your business. And again, as I've shared earlier, if it's too good to be true, 9 times out of 10, then it is, okay? The community development financial institutions and nonprofit lenders, I know that this is something also that is very popular as well. In my time with being in the financial industry, just here in St. Louis alone, I know a lot of business owners that have seen success and received assistance from, just using Justine Peterson as an example. That's an example of a community development, financial institution or a nonprofit lender as well that will help with business lending needs. They even have resources available when it comes to business planning. They also have many options that are available to help with business banking needs. And I know that we have partnered with them with customers if we're unable to assist due to credit needs. That's a resource that we've used versus telling the customer, nope, sorry, I can't assist you. We've at least said, you know what, right now it may be a no from me, but I have another resource that I can refer you to that could probably assist you and work with you. And not trying to do a plug, but the one nice thing with Justine Peterson as well, if your credit is not where it needs to be, they do work with you to help build the credit so that you can get a true traditional loan from a bank or credit union of your choice. Now, one of the things when it comes to business lending as well, of course, we want to make sure that your own personal credit is where it needs to be also, because again, while the business itself, all business lending is borrowed under the business tax ID number, the business itself cannot come in and make those payments on behalf of the business. And banks and financial institutions, they do review your own personal credit report to see how do you go about paying your own personal bills. If you're showing paid on time, paid as agreed, have a great credit score, 9 times out of 10, you're going to do the same thing when it comes to your business as well. So want to make sure that your personal credit is where it needs to be. Of course, the higher the score, the better. Want to be mindful also of debt to income ratios and how much credit you have available to use. And by all means, I know those are terms that one may not be as familiar with. And that's the part where your banker comes into play of walking you through what you need to do to ensure everything is good to go to establish a business loan for your business. Also, a big thing, please make sure that you're keeping your personal finances separate from your business finances. I have seen many business owners utilize their personal checking and personal savings accounts to take care of business expenses. I've seen business owners use the business account to take care of personal expenses as well. I can tell you that from a reporting standpoint, when it comes time to do your business tax returns and even your personal tax returns, whether you are using an accountant or you're doing it on your own, it is much easier if you have it separate. That way, you know everything that is coming out of your business account, those are true business expenses. Everything that is going on in your personal account that is truly tied to your personal expenses, your personal needs. So if nothing else, would definitely encourage you, if you don't have it separate, please look at establishing accounts where it is not, you're not commingling funds between your personal and your business needs. I will share also, there is nothing wrong with having both your personal and business relationship at the same financial institution. Know that I know there have been some concerns and misconceptions on if I were to be sued personally and my account is at bank, my personal account is at bank A and my business account is also at bank A, then they can take both my personal and business funds. Know that if you have a tax ID number or EIN number, as it is also referenced, if you have that for your business account and you are, as an example, sued personally, unless your business is named in that lawsuit, then the bank will not touch those business funds. Okay. So again, it's nothing wrong with having your relationship at the same financial institution. And to be honest, when it comes time to secure business lending, I would just stress relationships are key within our industry. And the more we can see of your relationship, the picture of what your finances looks like, the stronger opportunity of availability of having a loan or line of credit extended to you, as long as all the other ducks are in a row as well. I'll touch on the 5 C's of credit in a moment within the presentation also. And as I just shared, banking relationships, building those relationships are very, it's key within this industry. I would tell business owners as I would interact with them, think of me as like that silent partner that you have. I'm a part of your team. My role and my responsibility is to ensure that you have what you need from a banking standpoint. And whatever questions that you may have, I'm here to help address those questions. It's also my role to help identify opportunities to make your business even stronger. So if you are struggling in an area and I have a product or service that can help with that struggle, it's my role as your banker to bring that to your attention. So building banking relationships are strongly encouraged. If you have not heard from your banker, your business banker, whomever you have a relationship with at your current financial institution, it may be time to seek a new financial institution. One of the things that I share with my team all the time is that we are great on building relationships. And again, we want our customers to know that should they need anything, we are here for them. Even if it's just a simple check-in, hey, just making sure everything is okay. You haven't gotten that from your banker that you are working with now, it may be time to look at a new relationship, and we at Midwest Bank Center will be happy to assist with that relationship as well in building that relationship. Business loans. So again, I've touched on personal and business credit history just a little bit. There are resources that are available in the event you are not for sure even what your credit score is or where to start with building business credit. By all means, we want to make sure that you have the resources that you need to have great business credit history. Something as simple as establishing a business credit card in the business name under the business tax ID number, that helps with building business credit history. You may not get that $50,000 credit limit right away. It might start off with $1,000. It might even be $500. Whatever it is, paying it on time, paying as agreed, that will help build your business credit. And once it's time to start seeking additional financing for your business, by all means can make those happen. Also, when it comes to a business loan, I've shared again the importance of keeping your personal and business transactions separate and not commingling any funds. One other thing that we see a lot within banking as well, when it comes to the filing of your business tax returns, if you write off everything and you are showing negative income for the business because you've written off everything, 9 times out of 10, once you bring those tax returns to the bank to seek a business loan or a business line of credit, you're viewed as one that's not able to support the request. So would always advise you to consult your tax accountant or your tax advisor, especially if you are looking to establish or need to have a business loan, I would say within the next year or 2 years. Because you don't want to show that your business is not making money because you're writing everything off. Because again, we rely heavily on what we see on the business tax returns. And if you're showing anything in the negative for those tax returns, 9 times out of 10, the lender is not going to be able to get you approved for the business loan that you're seeking. Okay. So again, would encourage you to reach out to your accountant or your tax advisor for additional questions on that. But again, big takeaway, maintaining accurate bookkeeping is also key. There are many resources that are available, a lot of it being online. I know QuickBooks is something that's very popular that a lot of business owners take advantage of. And we also know that now with a lot of the financial institutions, online banking, they have it where the online banking system can run alongside the online accounting software that a business chooses to use. So it's helping with that cross-check and those cross-references as well. So let's talk about the 5 C's of credit. So we have capacity, collateral, credit history, conditions, and character. So when it comes to capacity, this is the cash flow that the business needs to demonstrate that it has the ability to repay a loan. We, as your lender, we want to know what revenues that you have that you will use to repay the loan and whether those are documented in your financial statements and on your tax return. Okay? So long story short, capacity, ability to repay the loan back. When it comes to the collateral, in the event you are applying for a loan that is secured, we as the lender, we want to know what is it? What are the items that you're using as collateral? Is it certain equipment? Is it inventory? Is it a building that we're using? With that, in the event you were to default on the loan, the bank wants to know that the collateral that was put up to secure this loan, is it sufficient enough to cover the loan should the business owner default on the loan? Again, we never want, it's not the goal for anyone to of course, repossess or take ownership of the collateral that one uses to repay the loan. But we also want to make sure that the collateral that one puts up to secure the loan is sufficient enough to cover the loan in the event where one were to default. Okay. The next C within the 5 C's of credit centers around credit history. Again, here we look at your own personal credit history. While we're not reporting to the credit bureau under your own personal social security number, we do look at your performance and how you pay your bills. Are you paying on time, paying as agreed? Because 9 times out of 10, if you are, then you would also do the same for your business. For those that have established business credit as well, the credit history is reviewed to see how you're making your payments and how things are going, that there are no delinquencies or any judgments listed on the credit report. Conditions here, of course, this is the term of the loan and the business environment. So currently right now we're in a pandemic. And if you are wanting to, let's just say, start a restaurant business, does that make sense right now for the environment that we're in?
No.
Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But know that that's something else that comes into play when banks are deciding the terms of the loan, and if in fact this is a risk that they're willing to take by extending this credit to the business owner. And then last but not least is character. So of course here, the bank does look at any the personal integrity of the business owner. They also look at the business reputation. If there are any references that can be provided by any customers that you've worked with in the past, any vendors, also references from other lenders that you may have gotten loans or lines of credit from. They also review, social media posts for the business, of course. If there are any references or feedback from clients that you have worked with, that also can play a part within defining what your character looks like. Character is also reflected in your own personal and business credit history. So again, if your personal credit report shows everything is paid on time, paid as agreed, from the bank standpoint, hey, we look at that as this person has great character, just as an example. So those are the 5 C's of credit. One of the things also when it comes to those 5 C's of credit, we encourage each business to also have a business plan. Now, sometimes lenders will want to see a business plan. Sometimes lenders may not want to see a business plan, but would encourage each business owner to have a plan as much as possible, and even look at reviewing the plan, whether it's annually or every 5 years, to see what changes need to be made to the plan. We do have resources that are available. I'm not for sure if you guys have heard of SCORE, SCORE. Within SCORE, they have a group of retired banking executives that will review business plans and provide feedback. Will tell you if you're on the right track with your business plan. And to my knowledge, that was a service that was offered free of charge. So if you Google SCORE, can definitely get additional details on setting an appointment with them to find out more on how, on a review of your business plan, if you would like to take advantage of that service. So a few things to remember. Again, financing can include your own savings, especially when you're starting off with a new business. Also, being in this pandemic, I know some business owners have also had to dip into their personal savings to keep their business afloat. We will rebound from this, and when that time comes, know that you need to pay yourself back for covering the business needs, the business expenses that your business has. Would also remind you to please make sure you ask questions and you understand all the different features of the loan products that are available to you. As you're working with the financial institution of your choice, ask all the questions. What is the best option for your business based off of the need that you have? And again, if something sounds too good to be true, then 9 times out of 10 it is. Also look at the various government programs, both local, state, and federal, because there could be free money that's out there for your business to take advantage of and use. Okay. And then also, in the event you choose to use a non-financial institution to seek financing, then make sure you evaluate the benefits and the risk of going that route versus utilizing a traditional financial institution. Also, when it comes to the lending needs, I've touched on understanding your personal and business credit history. We know that now everybody is entitled to a free credit report per credit reporting agency at least once a year, because we have 3 credit reporting agencies, which strongly encourage you to pull one from each reporting agency every 4 months. And again, that's at no charge for having a copy of that credit report. Also touched on the 5 C's of credit, making sure that you keep your personal and business accounts separate, have accurate reporting and records as well, and then utilize various resources also when it comes to business lending needs. On this slide, this just is a quick glance of the business lending products, a small quick glance of the business lending products that we have at Midwest Bank Center. There are others that are not on this list, but for the retail market of what I'm responsible for, these are the business lending products that we do offer. Anywhere I have equipment term loans, I have lines of credit, I have a small business emergency loan. I know that one is something that has been a huge help to business owners, especially as we're in this pandemic. It's something that is unsecured, provide some documentation, and you could borrow up to $25,000 with this unsecured small business emergency loan. So have many options that are available if you're looking for business lending needs. Happy to have a conversation with you to determine what's the correct product for you to apply for. And then the last slide, I have my contact information. I know this was a lot to share within our small time frame that we have today, and I'm sure there are questions for me as well. But if you have additional questions outside of our time together today, by all means, feel free to contact me. My telephone number and my email address is listed. Will be honest, email is probably the fastest way to get in touch with me because I have access to that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So by all means, please take my information and feel free to reach out to me should there be additional questions. And that is my presentation. Do we have questions in the chat?
Thank you, Ms. Ashley O'Neill. We do not have any questions in the chat. Therefore, I would like to thank you for your wonderful presentation. It was loaded with a lot of great information, and we really do appreciate you. And if anyone reached out to us that needs your information, we would definitely share that as well. I would like to just take a moment to give a few announcements for upcoming dates. We, the CARES team in St. Louis, would like to invite you to save the date for Wednesday, October 14th at 2 p.m. Our speaker will be a LinkedIn expert, Kathy Bernard. The topic will be Mastering LinkedIn for Business and Sales. We would also like to remind you that this is Med Week. Med Week started on Monday and will end Friday. You still have time to register at mbda.vizzi.live, which is on the screen currently. Next, tomorrow, we have our national partnership with UPS, and they will be featuring Magic Johnson, insights on business, perseverance, and success. Again, that is on tomorrow, Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it is not too late for you to register for that. Lastly, Saturday, September 19th is by MBDE Day. So take the time to support a minority business on Saturday. And again, I'm Melody McClellan, CARES Act Coordinator. We have Tamisha Taylor, who is the assistant. Feel free to message us if you have any questions. And we really would like to thank everyone for joining us today. And again, we look forward to seeing you next month at our presentation regarding LinkedIn and how to increase your business and sales. Thank you all for joining us.